is one heck of a morning. Good thing I got up early. So, free to succeed. Just kidding. Freedom Tour 2023. Almost like we're a month away. My God. Month away. Episode 63, are we? So, I wanted to take this opportunity because I know I watched Hell Hades' video and I watched J-Gig's video, and let's play while we talk about this. By the way, I already recorded this once and realized that even though my microphone shows that it's working in Streamlabs, something was going on and it wasn't working. But we fixed it. We tested it. We're good. Which is great because I rambled on for 30 minutes. This is probably better because I'll be more succinct this time, I hope. So J-Gigs put out a video, here's what we want, and Hell Hades put, what are we trying to achieve? And I thought to myself, I was watching Hell Hades, and I kind of get his perspective. You know, what are we trying to do? If we're gonna not spend in this game, what result do we want? And I think the net of his, which I kind of was like, come on, bud, like you could be the driving force. And only in that he was like if 100,000 of us do it and the average spend is like $1 a day or whatever it is, then compared to their revenue for the last year, they're not going to notice. But I think in the month of December, if they see a 10% decline or 15% decline in their revenues for 1 month, they're going to notice. They're going to see it. And they're so scared that could snowball that I think that it will be impactful. But also, and I mean this with the utmost respect I have for the guy who has forged an amazing network and has done so much for this game, for the community, and is a good dude. He's a good dude. But if you can't see that the game is broken and needs a change, I don't know what to tell you. The game is broken and needs a change. And it's needed for 4 years. But as the shine slowly dulls on the content as they add the game to the game, as the different things, the unique fun stuff that we're like, good, Plarium finally did something. As that dulls, there's a tarnish left behind, and that tarnish is more and more noticeable. That's what I see. I think this game's had some base core broken aspects that haven't been good since they made the last round of we gotta fix stuff 3 years ago. And I feel like it's almost a bit disingenuous, or just you don't want to. And in his video, basically, and watch the video, like, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I would say argue that he's entitled to more than just his opinion, given what he's accomplished. But essentially, he said the last 2 months he spent $500 in the game. Now it's his job. He's investing $500, and then he's writing off a percentage of it, and he can directly correlate revenue with that spend. So, no shade on the spend. But you spent $1,000 in this game, and what was different in all these different things? So, I don't know. I think that you probably could have come up as a if you wanted to, if you thought that the game did need help, we can come up with a lot of things this game needs. It's all I'm saying. So, and then J-Gigs put out his list of things, and there's a couple of minor points that I disagree with, like rank charms. Guess what, man? If you use the Forge more often as a stream of CVC revenue and gear improvement, because frankly, if you're free to play or you low spend, especially more so if you're low spend, I'll honestly say Perception gear is still the best gear in the game overall, the most usable, the most versatile, And if you can constantly churn out higher quality gear through rank charms and rarity charms, you're never going to have a lot of those. That's just personal space. By the way, made some changes. Veno's been crushing it the last, right? We got another book into him, so he's now 100%, or she's now 100%. She just has a cooldown, and unfortunately my last book went into her A1, but we're hoping. Frozen Banshee, we kind of started retooling her. Deacon, lasting a lot longer, we retooled him. We're in the midst of it. Right, we got some Defiant gear now, so we've been slowly putting Defiant gear on him to make him even tankier. He's way faster now, which is good. We're not tuning yet, but we're getting everyone's speeds where they need to be a little bit, right? We're a little faster. I'm still working on her next. Kaioku should be the slowest, although I do need to get her at least to 171. So that shouldn't be that hard to do. All right, so we're getting the speeds there where we need to. We 6-starred Aela, and we've got her in stalwart gear, so we just need to get books, which is, I'll get back to that, and masteries. And we're very close. We've got 4 5-star, and we've got some 4-star food here and some 3 stars that we've leveled up. So we're close to getting Syrian built up. I feel like this is going to be nice because she has an AoE, even though it's only 60 to 80% chance, which is another thing I want to talk about. And the Weaken, she has attacks one enemy, and she has poisons. I think she'll be good on the dragon. I really do. Plus, the reason why she jumped the queue, so to speak, is because I got a 4-star blessing on her. So I got cruelty, and so that gives us a lot. It gives us a lot for free to play that I can't ignore having Spirin. So, and I think she'll help in Dragon a lot. Like, I can probably put her in place and she'll win. Which we're gonna go to right now while we chat about the things that I think that the core things. I would say there's probably, well, I don't want to put a number on it because I'll come up with another one and be like, ooh, we should talk about that. So let's run this. Okay. So Jay Giggs did his video, and I watched the video. Here's what I want to add to it. Some of his were finer points. Like he said, we don't need rank or rarity charms in the daily. I disagree with that because I use the Forge a ton. But if they remove the rank and rarity charms because they're giving the rank and rarity charms where they should be given more aptly, which is in Faction Wars, it should be something you just get because that's where you're, or in Doom Tower, or if we can get those in other places, because a 5-star chicken and a sacred shard should be put back in it'd be an easy win because the community wants it. Nobody liked losing those. Nobody did. Some people said, well, yeah, the champions are nice, but they're not. They're not great. And I can't remember. I have to go on my main to see what they've replaced those with. Is once you get all the freebie champions, so like 3 years into the game, you're right. That's probably the last place I'm looking for those. Is I think the gist of it, the point of it. So here's my list of items that I feel need to change. First thing is the scarcity of core game resources. Silver and books. I've played several other games now. This was kind of my first of this genre. I played like city defense games or city building games, kingdom building games. I played The Walking Dead, which was like I don't know what you call The Walking Dead. It just clears zombies and then you build out. I guess there's no way it's building. It's a city building game as well, city defense or kingdom defense, that sort of thing. But I've played several since, right? I've tried many of the ones that have come out, and the one thing that this game does so poorly is its resource ability to farm resource, the ability to get resource in this game, especially until the end game, It gets a lot better when you get to Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. But Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss is not just a progression piece in this game. It's a champion and progression and gear combined. Right now, the team I have, I'd need my main account gear to be able to farm Ultra Nightmare. Or I get to give Demetha. And I guess I need Demetha and Seeker. Or no, I can use Hakatoon and Deacon, right? So if I get Demetha, then guess what? I have a 2 or 3 key team just like that. So I either get to not do Ultra Nightmare, or I get to just do it based on one champion, getting one champion. It doesn't even have to be good gear. I just have to get speeds. The rest of the thing, who cares, right? So those resources locked behind Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss need to be more accessible through farming. That is the epic books, legendary books. Right now, I worked out the numbers, and I've gotten 55 epic books in 91 days. And that includes the challenges, which give you probably 15 of them, 10 of them, immediately, like a lot easier. And there's some early game rewards on epic books that are one time. But after that, I'm clipping at probably 2 a week, if I'm lucky. Maybe less. Maybe a little less than 2 a week. But it feels like it's 2 a year, but maybe it's 2. We'll call it 2 a week right now. And that's me hitting Nightmare every day. And depending on affinity, getting top chest, or once in a while I'd get the second top chest. So I need to be able to farm epic books. I should be able to get 5 a week. I don't think that's unreasonable to get 5 a week when you're asking for 10 to 15 to fully make a champion. And the reason why it's so important, and you can use a lot of champions you can use without booking, or use, and especially legendaries you can, but I feel like epics need books. Like, I can't use Venomage. If I used Venomage without books in the Clan Boss and just built her out as she is now without books, my Clan Boss team I would not be able to 4-key. I need the cooldowns. I need the 100%. Because not doing it, like, can you imagine not having books in Deacon and trying to go through this run? Or Stag Knight. I'm using Deacon because I need the speed. This has been more consistent, but I could say Deacon as well. And Dragon's a bad example because weak affinity, so it adds another thing. But if Deacon was only 70% chance to land stuff in a normal run where he's normal or strong affinity, oh my god, I would never be able to get through content, because the 2 that didn't get buffed, the 1 to 2 that didn't get buffed, would kill me. And then it's over. Then that's it. Too bad. So, scarcity of epic book. That's one of my biggest beefs. Legendaries as well, I would say. But legendaries, if we should be able to get 2 legendaries a week, legendary books a week, I don't think it's unreasonable. Actually, I'm going to up that. I don't think it's unreasonable to say that I should have enough legendary tomes in the mid-game to book a legendary a month. 1 legendary a month. That's not a lot of books. That's 15 books a month outside of Clan Boss. And once you hit Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, then you get a few more. Because Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss shouldn't be the one place to get all these resources. And so if you can't do it, then too bad. Because I've gotten 1 legendary. I think I've gotten 2 legendary books since hitting Nightmare. And I think I've gotten 4 epic books since hitting Nightmare. It's very anemic. So it's fine if you want to put all that in just the Clan Boss, then Brutal and Nightmare Clan Boss has to have quadruple the rates of those books. Ultra Nightmare can stay the same, but that's the first one. And silver as well. Stop giving me 20,000 silver, 50,000 silver. That does nothing. It does nothing. Stop giving me 5-star. I'm jumping forward. Sorry. So, just the scarcity. There should be a farmable place for silver. That's not just Spider, but just in general, is a farmable space. Just should have a farmable space to get those resources, books and silver. Number 2, the amount of epic, and I know more so than probably anyone, the amount of epic champions that are just unusable in this game is a tragedy. And the amount of legendaries that are unusable, or have been power crept so badly that they used to be usable and now they just aren't. And I get if you've been playing for 4 years, that might be okay because you have most of them. But the metas just haven't changed. The Ukrainians, Georgiad with Necrit, like these sort of things have been this for over a year now. It's boring. Get some of the. We do 3 every quarter. There should be 10 champions. There should be 6 epics and 4 legendaries retooled every patch. There's 900 champions in the game. Do 10% of them. Do 9. Do 6 and 3. Just retool them. Make them good again. Make them useful. Make all these bad champions useful again. Now, I'm not saying you can't make use of bad champions. We do what we can with what we got. But what I'm saying is there's so many of them that are just not. When's the last time you saw a late game player or even a mid game player using Jizzo outside of Faction Wars because he hasn't pulled enough and Epic Lizardman is so anemic, right? Like, it's so uninspired. Just make more of them better so that if, as a newer player, if I pull Ripper, I'm like, hey, here's a champion I can use. Right now, I don't think anyone in the history of anywhere has said, oh my god, I pulled a Ripper, now I can complete some content, or now won't it be fun to build that champion? That's just not a thing that's said. So that's number 2. Number 3, I agree wholeheartedly with the login rewards. If you look back at the login rewards, the 3 months prior to getting to the final kind of grouping is so much better. You get more energy, you get more gems, you get more books, you get 3 sacreds in the one right before. Like, there's so many better rewards from the monthly logins. They're so scared to give resources. Even though they know the analytics tells them that the money they make is off of shards. But 1 sacred shard a month is not going to be like, oh, I got my, Hell Hades, for example, who just said in the last 2 months he spent $500 each month. $500 each month. If he got 1 sacred shard, he wouldn't be like, blimey, guess I don't need to buy anything this week. I don't know why he's sounding Australian. I can usually do his accent really well. It must be too early in the morning. But my point being is he's not going to stop spending $500 because of 1 sacred shard. But the goodwill of it is immeasurable. A sacred shard and a 5-star chicken a month, and I would say don't get rid of the charms. Get rid of the type charm, because that one's just trash. It's such a low chance, and it's so because I need all 6 types of gear. So why would I increased chance to get a glove? I don't care. I need all of the gear to be better. So when I'm burning through, I've never used one other than when it's asked me to for a quest or whatever. I don't care what type of. I just if I'm farming a resource, say like perception gear, I just want as much perception gear as I can get. Do I care? It's the best. It's the best utility piece in the game, and it has been since it's been in the game. And nothing they've done has changed that. So I want to burn through as much perception gear. Rank and rarity works for me. Type does not, and substat does not, because the chance of actually changing the substat is so low. Again, just give me less of that. Give me a 5-star chicken. Give me a sacred. Agreed. J-Gig said it in his video. I agree. So the monthly login rewards, just anemic. The amount of overall giving in this game is anemic. So that's what are we on? 2, 3. Number 4, tournaments and events you need to do more of the deck of fate that actually gave us good stuff, but also stop pay gating it so much. Stop pay gating your special events, because the regular tournaments and events are fine, but they're boring AF. And so when we get the deck of fate or the path of whatever you call it, it's something different and it's something fun. But it's not fun when you pay gate it behind shards. And if I'm an early game, low spend, free to play, and I don't want to spend money. I think I turned over 4 on this account in that whole time, 3 maybe. Well, that's fun. A whole deck of card thing, and I pulled 3. So if you're a spender or an endgame, sure, you get to pull them all. It was great rewards. It was fun. Amanda and I had both had opened the full gamut after our weekend shard opening session, which is fine. But for the rest of us, for us not at that position, it was just sad. And you only do the deck of fate every once in a while. And sometimes that deck of fate has some trash rewards behind it. This last time was great. I love 6-star gear. I love having mythical gear behind there, because as a low spend free to play, there's a chance that one piece is game changing, believe it or not. So I love that. More epic books, more legendary books behind there. I like that. Those resources that I talked about, you can fix. Because right now, stop pay gating it. Give me a chance to open as a free to play. I should be able to open up a third to a half of that. And if I'm saving up for that event for my shards, so I'll use the shards during that event to get a double dip, then I could open all of them. Or if I spend, I can just open all of them, right? Eventually, with the resources that I have and use. So events and tournaments like those special ones need to be more accessible for everyone. I shouldn't get 4 things down that path of light. That's what's called path of light. 4 or 5 total things, because I just, in whatever you've tied it to, you have to be an endgame player doing endgame content, spending money, or you just don't, you get only a tenth of it. Stop being scared to give us resources. We'll just want more. That's how these games work. No matter how much resources, we'll want more. So give us the baseline, so at least we're having fun until it's time. The fusions need to be, first of all, they need to be less frequent, in my opinion. But regardless, they need to be more accessible. This last one was an absolute joke. For an average, yet another average legendary, we had to basically burn through everything at 100%. In a fusion I just finished, or similar fusion thing, I just finished in another game. I was able to get 2. Now, it was an epic, to be fair, but a usable epic, a very important epic in the game, a game-changing epic, one could say, once you have the surrounding pieces. I was able to get 2. Well, I'm going to be able to get 2 copies as a spender. But as a free-to-play, you can get 1 copy. Fastidious, who's a major content creator over there, one of my favorites, I should say, because Ivy's there as well, and Oddone puts out the game. So we'll say that I hadn't watched prior. He's one of my new favorites that I watch regularly. And he's free to play except for whatever he gets from being a content creator, which is not insignificant. But he was able to get a copy relatively easy. And you should be able to get a copy. And if you get 2 copies, even better. And that one, you can get multiple copies. But it should be, like, if we took what we have now in Raid, and you are able to get 1 copy of that champion at 75 shards, and there's 150 available. So if you're a whale, you're a spender, and you want to get 2 copies, even if it's the legendary, who cares if they can get a dupe? That means they can fill the ring, or they make them +1 of a fusion. Why not? There's 900 champions in the game. There's 899 other champions that people are still going to spend shards to try to get. But that 1 fusion, boom, you can get double copy if you're the spender, and you get a +1. What's wrong with that? Why is that so scared? Why does that sound scary? With this many champions in the game, where dupes are actually sought after and people would spend the resources and push hard to try to get 2 copies, but someone like me who's free to play right now, or if a person's a casual player, has the opportunity to get 1 copy, what's wrong with that? That's a good thing. Just let it happen. Let it happen, Plarium. Let it happen. So that the whole fusion thing needs to be completely overhauled in how gated, and it's gated to shards, which is the biggest BS, because then as in this account, I don't suspect I'll ever do a fusion, ever. So every time fusion's up, all it does is remind me that I'll never do it. Why is that an event? Thanks. So I think those are the big ones for me. Oh, and the packs. Could you imagine? I'll end on this. There's probably more, but these are the big ones for me. Can you imagine if you walked into Walmart and there's a 2-piece chicken breast for $5? Okay. Welcome to inflation, whatever. I'll get that. Then the next time you show up, there's a 2-piece, a 4-piece, but you can't actually buy the 2-piece for $5, but you can buy the 4-piece for $12. You know that the 2 for $5 is there still, but you can't buy that one. You can buy the 4 for $12. You're like, wait a minute, why am I spending more per piece? But I need the chicken, so you buy it. Next time you show up, there's an 8-piece, and it's $25, and you don't have access to the mid or the small piece, and that is the biggest spitting in my face as a spender, as a previous spender. That, more so than anything, is the biggest spit in my face moment this game has. Period. That because I'm willing to support your game by giving you tens of thousands of my dollars, but say it's not, say it's $50, say it's $100, say it's $1,000, say it's $300,000, whatever the number is, that I have to pay more per piece because I've already given you money, is the biggest slap in the face to people who spend money in this game. All 3 levels should be available. If you have a let's go in here, because I'll have the smallest version of most of this stuff. So there's usually the mini mix pack, right? I hate that they change it but we'll use this one. This is the least of my favorites. This one here should be available to me no matter what spender I am. There should be 3 of them. There should be a little 1, 2, 3 on the corner, and I can buy any level of them. And there should be an advantage to buying the bigger one. So if this is $4 Canadian, so it's probably $3 US, the $6 US one should just have double the resources plus one. Whatever, one pot, or this is a bad example because usually that's an ancient shard. And then the next one could be quadruple this for quadruple the price plus 5. You should A, be rewarded for spending more money in the game because that's how economies work. And B, I should have the opportunity, if I don't want to spend that much this month, to kick back to the smaller level one if that's what I need. The monthly pack, perfect example. This gets bigger if you spend more money. Right? But I should still have access to this one because maybe that month I'm like, you know what? I can only spend $100. I can only spend $30 in the game this month because it's $29.99 US. This is the pack I want to get. But I spent $500 last month because it was my birthday money or whatever, God forbid, the world that we live in. But so I bought the 10 shard, the 10, 2, and 6, whatever the one that is. But I should be able to have the opportunity to come back and get this one because the other option is just not spend anything, right? Like that is one of the biggest tragedies in the game and the biggest spitting in the face, slap in the face, whatever you want to call it, of spenders in this game is that as a spender, I have to spend more on your game to get resources. Not only am I spending more, but I'm spending more for less just because I'm a spender. If you want to entice free-to-play players, then give them free-to-play reward. Like give them, like you do, the Warrior Circle pack. This I think is huge value. Can you imagine? That $7.50 still annoys me. But for $10, if I'm jumping into the game, I feel like that's not even that great. I feel like, well, okay, so if these are worth $2.50, that alone is $10. So the rest, so that looks a little better. The gems is a tough one because you have that monthly gem pack. But like, isn't it, like if I want to spend in the game, I can get 15. This actually does seem kind of anemic, but anyway. Why you can do this to get me to spend if I'm a no spend or low spend or infrequent spend. But for those who do spend, they should be able to have options. Like here you have options. I mean, this is not a good example. Two different things. Like why is a standard premium and they have nothing to do with each other? Like again, just the whole shop, everything about it insults me as a spender, I feel. So that's a big one. So to recap, go backwards. The spend thing, the fusions, everything about the fusions, the accessibility of fusions, the way the fusions are created, the daily login, right? We were talking about it. Let's go to the daily login rewards. This here is objectively overall worse than this here. 2 sacreds, 200 gems. 200 gems, no sacreds, no chickens. A couple 3-star to 4-star, kind of actually a little bit anemic. 1,000 energy, but watch this one here. I get 1,500 energy. This one's probably, I would say this one's probably overall, other than there's no sacred shard, is probably the best one. You get a 5-star chicken, you get 3 3-star, you get 2, you get 3, you get 1,500 energy, you get an epic book, only 1 though. Let's see if we go here, maybe it's even better. 5-star chicken, 4-star chicken, you get some gems, you get things. My favorite one was actually this one. That's actually my favorite one. This was my favorite one. Day 60. Every week I got a good chunk of energy that I could use, right? I got 4 epic books. I got shards of every type and color. I got a legendary book, 2 of them, right? This one here. Just redo this one every month. And change this to a 5-star chicken instead of Aethel. Well, she's a 4-star chicken, but make it a 5-star chicken and you win. Right? No rank and rarity charms, no type charms. Usable 3-day XP banner. Everything about this set should be at the end. Should be here. I don't think I'm reaching when I say that the 60 to 90 day, even this one, but this one here is objectively better than this here. The 3-day turned into a 1-day. The 500 turned into 300 and 400 energy. There's the useless substat charm, the useless type charm. I think that rank and rarity charms are worth, but that's me. They could be elsewhere in the game. 1 epic book, no legendary book, 3 shards. None of them are sacreds. No chickens, but I get 10 brews. I get 5-star glyphs that I can farm glyphs. I don't need you to give me 2 5-star glyphs. 3 sets of 5-star glyphs. Right? Give me this. Give me this. Which just goes to my point that which is the first point I made, which is the scarcity of core resources in the game, which is books and silver. Fix all that. And I think that would be no dime December. That would be a good result. So I'm obviously partaking. But I'll tell you what, I'll even put my money where my mouth is. I will return to spending in January on my main account. I will put money in. I don't know how much. We'll do like $100 party or a couple $100 party. I will take my monthly, my monthly spend, and I will spend it in Raid if they were to make these changes. So I wouldn't say in January because you got to do this for a month. Or maybe February, whenever. But if I see meaningful, impactful change on these things, which I think we can all agree, maybe we don't. Maybe the minutia is a little bit different for us. Maybe the details are a bit different. But overall, just some impactful change in these areas of the game. I'll spend in this game again. I'm not saying I might. I'm saying I will. I'll give you my money again. I will return to a budget that I will spend in this game on a monthly basis. I'm confident that you're not going to. But that's where I'm at. I'll put my money where my mouth is. And I'm sure J-Gigs will too. And I'm sure any other content creator that feels like they're going to do this for a month, I really wish, Hell Hades, I really wish you'd jump on board. Because we don't know if we don't try. Right? And I don't want to make it sound like this is the same level, but could you imagine any other movement that a bunch of people just said, well, I don't know if it'll be impactful. Will they even notice? Will they even care? It's only one group of us. Think of how many things wouldn't have gotten changed in our history if that was the mentality. So I'm hoping we all jump on and find out. And maybe nothing will change, but at least we can say, hey, we tried something to get this game to change, and they ignored us. So it's just another example of why we should probably move on, or just take the game for what it is and give them less of us, right? That's my thought. 36 minutes, way too far. Twice I've done this, and both times I didn't stop at the 30 minutes, which I wanted to, but I think that gives a pretty good idea. I'm going to stop this for a little while. I'm just going to play the game and talk about what I'm trying to do in the account and talk about the progression of the account. I'm not going to go on these rants anymore. I'm not spending for December. I hope you don't spend for December. I hope it opens their eyes. I hope we see some meaningful, impactful changes. If we do, I'll spend on my main account. I'll start playing it again. There we go. Simple as that. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. I appreciate you making it through my 36-minute rant. Please be kind. Please be safe. And of course, I hope to see you in the next video.